Hi, I'm Amber Simonson. Welcome to the Micro Action 60-Day Challenge. I'm coming to you from a video because I got a few emails over the weekend that were asking about some of the items that were on the list and could I say more about those and what those are. Well, I wanted to go through these in number order really quickly, so if you didn't have a question on the first few but you want to skip ahead, go for it. I am posting this on YouTube so everyone can see it, but I am not looking for likes. You do not need to subscribe. Just keep working towards a better work week. Let's get started. Number one, include an agenda or objective with every meeting invite. This is specifically for any of us that use Outlook or Gmail, and when you post one of those meeting invites, there's a big blank space in the bottom, and that is on purpose. That is for you to tell the recipients what that meeting's really going to be about. Now, if it is a one-on-one or if it's something that you don't really have an agenda for yet, don't leave it blank. This is your chance to put in what you are hoping to achieve with that meeting. Are you looking to discuss, make a decision, just inform people about something? This is where you put that in that meeting area. This really helps the recipients know whether this is a must attend, a maybe attend, and can really get you started. It's a great habit to get into and creates a really healthy meeting culture for your company. Take a 15-minute walk during the day. Now, everyone that tells me they don't have time or they don't have space or can't run out of the office, that is fine. What I try to do, whether I'm in the office or working from home, is some point during my day, usually during lunch, is I will either go outside and do a walk around my yard, or if it's really terrible weather, I will go up and down the stairs for 10 minutes. Usually it looks really silly. The cats think I'm bizarre, but getting the blood pumping in the middle of the day, I have noticed is game changing. So I hope you give that a try. If you're at the office, go to the restroom or the copier at the far end of the building. Walk across the street. Walk the parking lot a couple times. Just pop in your headphones, make it look like you're on a call, and get after it. But getting that blood pumping is really worth it. Number three, eat lunch away from a computer or your TV. This one's really hard to do. It is so easy to sit down with your food and just kind of consume it and just kind of to keep kind of working or looking at things. And that brain break from the screen I have found is really refreshing. So I hope you give that one a try. Number four, make an appointment for something after work. Now, here I added a few more details. It could be walking your dog. It could be working out. It could be headed to a class, an art class, a yoga class, or simply picking up your kids or having dinner with someone. It's got to be something that it's got some teeth in it, right? Something that you wouldn't want to miss. And if you're able to do this for 60 days, I will tell you, you will get in the habit then of having a routine where you pack things up, a routine where you're leaving at a time that you wanted to leave the office instead of when the security guard or the cleaning folks come around. And if you're at home, it is so easy to just stay online and keep plugging away. And next thing you know, your family has moved on, the pizza's been ordered, and you're still at your computer. So this is a really great one to practice, keeping yourself accountable to the time that you want to be done with work. Number five, wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual and exercise. Now, you might be wondering what this has to do with work, but all the science is there to tell you if you get your body moving first thing in the morning, the impacts and the effects of that are going to last throughout the day. So even if you are not a morning person, I would tell you it is worth figuring out how to get up and get your body moving first thing in the morning. I know some people who really hate the morning and cannot even bear the thought of a 30-minute exercise routine then. They jump rope for 2 minutes. So you can do that. I know you can. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes, but give it a try. Number six, take 15 minutes before work and journal. This is one of the ones that I'm doing. As you see, I have it circled on my list. I am terrible at journaling. You'd think that with all these routines, I've been able to figure out this and work it into my morning, but it feels so hard to be still and get the thoughts out of your head and onto a page. And so I am now doing this. I'm trying to join it with something I already do every day, which is working out in the morning. So I will let you know how that goes. Number seven, meditate for 10 minutes. Recently at work, a number of us have been given access to Headspace to try that. So you could try that and do it every workday. It doesn't have to be a long time. There's tons of free resources out there as well. Use a Kanban board to keep track of your actions and move a square every day. If I could show you my Kanban board that's right here in my office, what you would see is a lot of sticky notes all sitting there, all ready to go. And this is magic. If you do not know how to use a Kanban board, I actually teach a little webinar where I can take you through it and how to actually get everything that is in your brain onto the board and actually work it. This is different than a team Kanban board. Team Kanban boards are meant to organize work of a team. I'm talking about personal, like it works for you. It is something just for you. So if you are struggling with your work processes, Kanban's a great way to do that. Number 9, spend 10 minutes planning your day. So that means that before you sit down at your computer and dig into the inbox and dig into the reports or whatever else you were doing, you actually take a look at what you wanted to achieve today. Now, ideally, you would have planned this possibly the week before if you use the Prep for Next Week planning tools. However, if you don't and you just are trying to get a handle on like, what am I doing today? Planning your day, when you're going to do it, how you're going to use your blocks of time to get work done. This is huge and it doesn't take long, and you are going to discover that you are getting some pretty big wins every single day if you do this practice. Number 10, encourage a coworker. If you saw my blog post about this a while back, encouraging one person for every day for 90 days, I did this because one, it felt a little uncomfortable because I was very used to thinking kind thoughts about people, but I was not used to actually saying them out loud or writing them to them or actually picking up the phone and texting them, right? So same premise, we're going to encourage one person that we work with every single day. Coworker, boss, employee, random vendor. Find something that you appreciate, that they're rocking, that it could be anything, and let them know. And then I actually kept a list of those folks for the 90 days. We're going 60 work days, so keep a list and see how many people that you're able to impact. Number 11, batch process email 4 times a day instead of constantly. This one is huge. What we know about email is that if we leave our inboxes open, and it is one of the primary windows that is in our screen, we are going to be constantly revisiting it and coming back and touching it and really not making any progress. If we want to make progress, we've got to clear it. And the only time we can clear it is if we set time and actually batch through it and get our minds in that space of like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to delegate it, I'm going to delete it, I'm going to take action. Now, it doesn't mean you actually have to action every single thing that is in your inbox at that time, but you do need to process it and just make a decision for what you're going to do with it. I teach a whole class on this. Email is definitely one of those things that I think it can be a great tool, but it can also sink your productivity during the day if that is where you're living. You don't want to live in your inbox. 12, write down one thing you're thankful for. Again, the science is there. Gratitude helps create happiness. It helps create appreciation in all things. It helps us see things in a more positive light. So if you've been waiting to do some sort of gratitude practice, this is the perfect time to try it. It does not have to be about work, but if you are struggling at work and you're feeling like you're not fulfilled or it's a real grind, you're starting to feel those signs of burnout, I would challenge you to find one thing you are grateful for about what you're experiencing during the workday. Number 13, only touch your phone during work hours for phone calls and texts. Now, for anyone who uses their phone as an escape module, I don't even have my phone near me. That's awesome. But if you use your phone when you're feeling frustrated, if you use your phone when you're feeling stuck, you are basically feeding that part of your brain that just needs a distraction. So you pick it up, you look to see, like, is there anything on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, or what's the weather like? Or I remember I was supposed to buy something for my kids. Maybe I'll just shop for it really quick because I'm sure Amazon has it. So those little distractions during the day, they're not helping you. Now, taking a break is totally different, but when you are at work and you are stuck, ask yourself why you're stuck. Don't look for your phone for a distraction. Number 14, listen and read a nonfiction book for 10 minutes every day. This could be audiobook. This could be a podcast. Although I would caution you on the podcast, there's plenty of junk out there, but there are some really good ones. I really like Brene Brown's Dare to Lead. I always learn something new. I'm a recent listener to Andrew Huberman, who talks about neuroscience, super fascinating. But for 10 minutes, basically, you are learning something new. Some of us have jobs where it feels like we're not learning. We are just outputting knowledge that we already know. So if you want to learn something new and be able to put that into practice, 10 minutes a day with a nonfiction book. Okay, 15, stretch twice a day. This is so hard because, again, it's like the meditation one. It's like being still, but stretching is going to help your body. So many of us are in jobs where we are completely stationary. We either sit or we stand at our desk. We don't really move. We aren't running to meetings anymore. I used to get most of my exercise running from one end of the building to the other end of the building and to this conference room or to this office. And I don't go anywhere. I go upstairs to fill my water glass. And that is pretty much it. So stretching is really important to get our bodies moving and to really help that blood flow, and can really help us. If you need ideas for stretching, I am a huge fan of Sydney Cummings. You can look her up on YouTube. She has some amazing stretch videos, some really short ones too. Like, I'm talking 3 stretches if you want, but it's really great for getting things loose and getting back in the groove. Number 16, go to bed at a time that gives you 8 hours under the sheets. That does not necessarily mean you are sleeping for 8 hours. I know it's really hard for folks to kind of wrap their head around that. But what I would say is, if you give yourself that opportunity, what that means is that you are winding down your day in a way that you are getting yourself to bed at a time that gives you that opportunity. And so what I did for a long time when I was struggling with this is I would set an alarm. It was the go upstairs alarm, right? So the alarm goes off, the TV goes off, the phone gets put to sleep, and you head upstairs. And whatever that routine looks like for you, it's super important that you do it with enough time that you are able to get into bed, give yourself that opportunity for 8 hours of sleep. There's so much written about sleep. I'm not going to go into it, but this is a way to kind of like step into it. Write down 1 win for the day. So again, one of the ones that I picked. I'm excited about this because I think there are so many times we go through a day and we feel like we're not accomplishing anything, and we need that sense of accomplishment. So writing down 1 win for the day really helps me. So far, I've been doing this 1 week, understand what I'm trying to make progress on, and am I making progress, and am I making an impact every single day? Now, how do I make sure I hit a win for the day? Part of that daily planning. If I write down the thing I want to do today, it is so much more likely that I'm actually going to get to it. It does not mean that every win that I'm going to have every day is something that I plan for. Practice positive affirmations. Again, this is one, if you saw the blog post, you know I was so skeptical. I remember when I read Jon Acuff's book, Soundtrack, he talked about positive affirmations, and he actually appears to dislike those, or at least used to, so much more than I did. I just thought they were kind of silly, and some people did them, and it must be something, but it's really not for me. That's not really my thing, to look at myself in the mirror and tell myself that I'm smart or magnificent or any of those things. It didn't feel right. Well, and then I heard the science on it, and how much having those thoughts actually embed into our brains is really going to help us. It's like, crap, I got to do that. And I found out Seth Godin does it. I think he's amazing. Matthew McConaughey talked about, I don't know that they were called positive affirmations, but he talked about them in the book Green Lights, which, again, you need a nonfiction book, super entertaining. Learned lots of things about mindset and attitude from that book. But these positive affirmations, if you are all in, you ready to go, the one from Soundtracks is great. Zig Ziglar wrote a ton of them. You can also just look them up on the internet. Find ones that really feel true to you, and then you got to say them every day to yourself in the mirror. Again, it works really well to stack these on top of something you're already doing every day. Some people like to do it when they brush their teeth in the morning. I personally like to do it before I left my home gym area and got ready for the day. Is I just look in the mirror, just finished my workout, and I'd say my affirmations. And the next thing you know, those words are ringing through my head the rest of the day, especially when I would come upon a tough situation. So those are the 18. Here's the hard part. Just pick 2. You probably want to do these all. I know when I first saw the list, I'm like, these are great and we should all be doing these. However, success comes when the rules are easy to follow. And the rule is, do these 2 things every day and you are going to see success. So if you want to do more, wait till these 60 days are over and do 2 more. But for these 60 days, starting Monday, we're going to do 2. And every day, check them off on your sheet, write them at the top of your paper. You've got this. You've got almost 100 people doing this with you, so you are not alone. And I know I'm going to be cheering for you the whole way.